everybody, and welcome to We're All Fine. As ever, I am your host, Holly, and thank goodness back with me is my amazing, beautiful, and oh so fun co-host, Carly. Hi, Carly.
Hey, Holly. Hey, everyone. I missed you.
We've all missed you a lot.
You did a good job, stop being so hard on yourself. I loved your episode. I could listen to you over and over and over again.
I was missing all of your, quirky, just insightful wisdom.
That's me. Quirky and wise.
Did I tell you I was talking with the husband of a friend of mine who's listened to the episode, and he's like, I need to know what Carly looks like. And I was like, why? And he's like, I just have this vision of her, this image that she's just like this ball busting, hardcore rocker chick. That's how she comes across to me. And
I love that.
I didn't want to show him a picture of you so that he would see that you're actually fucking adorable, because I felt like
Actually, none of those things. She will bust your balls, but she'll do it with a sparkle. She's not
oh, she's like a precious forest creature. Yes. Yeah, not quite the hardcore rocker chick.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I actually really enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. I hope that's how everyone sees me. Maybe that's who I am on the inside. I just haven't let it out on the outside. All of my tattoos are a little darker, but because I love spooky shit. I can't commit to wearing makeup every day, and I also cannot commit to really stylized haircuts because I prioritize sleep over all things appearance. And so I've never been able to be super stylish. If I have to wake up and put makeup on every day to rocker chicks have really cool makeup, and even if they can do it within 5 minutes, I can't.
Maybe you have the rocker chick soul. You don't need to put on the
true.
mask to be the rocker chick. You just are. You just wake up and are. There's a very Janis Joplin vibe about you.
Don't you say that. She is my hero. As a child, I would just run around my house with boas in my hair. She was my idol. So now that my ego is the size of Texas, you can say that to me every day. She was literally the love of my life growing up.
Well, there you go. That's the kind of rocker chick you are.
I'll take it.
Which is actually a great lead in to what we're talking about today, which is a lot of vulnerable stuff.
Yeah. Vulnerable AF, which is not my comfort zone.
Well, we were going to talk about self-worth, but that feels very heavy to talk about it like that. So
yeah, I don't want to talk.
I got to figure out a different term. Give me some time. I'll come up with something. Really, this came about, dear listeners, because I'm having an existential crisis. And Carly is one of the most, I don't know, she's like pearls of wisdom just fall from her lips. And so
I just spit them out.
I'm just needing help. So maybe you guys can live vicariously through me, and maybe you're going through similar things, and we can all walk through this forest of insecurity together. So I am a person who, as I've realized and have been, it's been confirmed by many a therapist, that my self-worth is based on how busy I am as a person and or the level of success I am achieving at that time. So, yeah, my value is my work, which, for a lot of us, and I don't know, I don't think that that's a strictly woman thing. I think that that's
I don't think that's a strictly
lot of
woman
people.
thing. I think it's a lot of people. And I think especially with our culture, especially here of late, how often we hear about hustle culture, how often we hear about making moves. It's glamorized to work as many hours as you can and to hustle and to get all of these things. And so no, I think it's across the board. I think intention might be different for each person, but the actual motivation I think is very similar for both men and women. Also, and it's so weird too, because I was thinking about this, and this might be a weird rabbit hole. But the other day I was talking to someone and I was overhearing another conversation, and the way in which that people were talking about ambition, they were like, "Yeah, he's very ambitious." As if
Like
it
they
was,
said it negatively?
yeah, like it was a negative thing. And I was talking to this person and they were like, "Dude, yeah, like if you watch movies or like hear people's conversations and stuff like that, ambition isn't always seen as this like noble thing anymore. It's almost seen as like the sneaky wolf, like trying to like, super ambitious. Like they'll do anything to get to the top and this,
But
that, and the other thing."
that's maybe because of the way that it is represented in all of it, is that if you have ambition, you're willing to literally do anything to get what you want, even on the backs of other people.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I don't necessarily think that's true because I think there are some people that just like will work really hard to earn what they can. But like, I don't know. Your worth is so much more than what you can provide for other people, which is something I was told in therapy.
Which makes perfectly logical sense.
Yeah.
The thing that is difficult is you've got your logical brain. You see the whole problem, you see the whole situation, and you know right away what makes sense and what doesn't. Logically, I can look at my situation, which, dear listeners, I am in a I'm in a funk right now because it has been it feels like 100 years since my last book project. It has been months. But as Carly very sweetly informed me,
It actually was softly. I wasn't actually a dick about this one.
my concept of time is hugely distorted because, I
Okay.
mean, realistically, I think it's been a week and a half.
Yeah. And I feel like people think that I like beat you up about this. So we're going to clarify that really quick, okay? I told Holly, I was like, "Listen, my beautiful friend, you have so many skills. You have so many things that you're good at. But one of those things is not realistic timelines." Like, that's it. That's all. That's all I said. Just, helping her keep her beautiful, beautiful little feet on the ground a little bit because it's literally been like a week and a half. I love, okay, I love your gumption. I love the fact that you're like, "I wanna get shit done." I love the fact that when somebody puts a wall in your way, all of a sudden you can either climb it or break through it, and you're like, "Here we go. Let's keep going." Your
Yeah.
stamina is incredible. Your endurance is super hot. Like, we're all into it. Like, you are super cool. But, like, I also love the idea, there was a couple years ago where you and I were both going through like a really hard fucking time. And then you had, if you could think of a tragedy, it was like back to back to back to back to back to back. Like every time I talked to you, there was something that happened that I was like, "You should not have to be dealing with this right now. Like that is not okay." Like, what kind of fucked up action movie were you placed in that you should not have to be in? And I remember sitting there and I was like, I truly hope that here soon you can just be bored. And I love you, but I still hope that for you sometimes. Like, I love the idea of Holly just being like, "I'm not doing anything for a whole week," and actually enjoying that instead of panicking through it the whole time. Because you will still be successful in that week. You will still be incredible. You will still be super hot. You will still be all of these things. You just have taken time and found peace with yourself doing nothing.
And that's beautiful. There's so much, even in that last sentence, I want to put on a magnet and stick on my refrigerator as
Yeah.
a reminder. But
Yeah.
the truth of the matter is like, if I am still, then things are done. What is my purpose? What is value, right? And that is that's a tough thing to get rid of that anxiety. And more than that, it means that I'm hanging on to slivers of validation. Any small, tiny bit of validation I can get, I'm like, "Oh, hallelujah," like bathing in it. Even if
Right.
it's like a
Life source.
teaspoon, I'm like, "Pour it all over me."
Right.
Like, I c
Love this.
I love it. And
Yeah.
I know I'm not alone in this.
No.
Because I hear everything that you're saying, and I'm like, "Carly, you are right. You are, in fact, so right. ladies and gentlemen, did you know that Carly is a licensed life coach?
I am. Yep.
Not just self-proclaimed, but, like, highly
Certified.
educated, very certified life coach.
True. Yep.
There's when I say pearls of wisdom, it sounds like I'm laughing, but I'm being dead serious. Like, she just bathes in pearls of goodness. It's true. When you're looking at things logically, you go, "I see that. I am more than these pieces that I think make up who I am. I am more
Yeah.
than that." But it's hard, that little crazy person inside all of our brains that goes, "Yeah, but,
Right.
yeah, but."
No, for sure. And the advice I have to give with that is, like, not healthy. Like, that's terrible to admit, but it's not. I used to have that really hardcore. Like, I was especially being a single mom and a young single mom, I was really afraid for years that me and my child were going to become like a statistic. I didn't know what statistic I was running from, but I was terrified of it. And so I had to accomplish all things. I had to do all things. So I was in school full time, doing way more credit hours than an average full time student. I am working a full time job. I am doing side hustles on the weekends while also picking up a second job any chance I got, while having a baby and working at a theater for free full time because I needed to have a creative outlet because I couldn't just be mom. I needed to still be Carly. And I had all of this stuff, right? And then my husband and I went through an immense, like, life-shattering tragedy and then went through like a bunch of other really hard hardships, like back to back to back to back. And so what I did to lose needing, the the accomplishment and success was I lost my sense of self, which some people say the ego death is like the highest level of like spiritual reckoning that you can get. And I
Really?
don't think I did well, yeah, because when you have no ego left, then you are ready to actually like accept the things that are important because it's no longer about like how awesome you can be or how successful you can be or how driven you can be. It's literally just about like how can I be a human? How can I be a decent human? And you are no longer focused on being successful, you're just focused on like being good or being okay. So it's like a huge neutralizer. A lot of people do a lot of spiritual work and like internal work to do the huge ego death. I just like hit my mental and emotional rock fucking bottom. And now I'm rebuilding. And I feel no responsibility or obligation to provide the world with anything other than my presence. But that's not great sometimes.
I'm like, "Oh god, that sounds so zen." Like,
I There is a level of zen for sure, but when you come from an obsessive anxiety mindset, which is what I have been diagnosed with OCD, but then I've also had therapists tell me that they don't know if that's accurate. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I obsessively focus on things. Like Holly was getting on me earlier today, like, Carly, you can't plan for everything. And I was like, bet the fuck I can't. Like, Girl Scouts told me I could be prepared for anything, so I'm gonna do that. And like even my therapist is like, Carly, you're focused on all of these little things because your anxiety needs control. And I'm like, yeah, duh. Like if I don't focus on them, what if I get caught off guard, right? And that's not like healthy either. So while it sounds like I'm super zen, yes, but there's also a level of like, I don't know my place in the world anymore. Like, I'm really good at helping other people find their place because I can see it, right? I can see it for them. But for me, I'm just like, I'm floating here and this is great. My dream job, which is why I think I'm so into life coaching and stuff, is back in the old days, there was a legitimate job that was seen as like pretty high up in the social classes, which was thinker. That was literally the job title.
this was the job?
This was a job. You were
This
a
was
thinker.
and clearly not a government job.
No, not a government job at all. No,
Obviously.
but aristocrats and more elevated people would invite you and pay you to go to dinner parties or to sit in their parlor when guests came over. And you were just supposed to bring up interesting ideas. And it wasn't a philosopher because you were not telling people like ethically or morally or anything like that. It was just interesting thoughts. So you were basically a conversationalist. And that was your whole job. And then you could sit there and you could talk to people and give them advice on things and tell them about like the local market down the street that serves the best bread for cheaper than the guy that everybody else goes to. And that was your whole job. And I want that job. I
That
want that job.
sounds fabulous.
Right? Because I
Yeah.
have a hard time interacting with people in person unless I have a reason, right? People are like, Carly, you're not an introvert. No, I fucking am. Because I'm not talking to you unless I have a reason to. And if I have a reason to, then I feel comfortable and safe enough to speak with you and to engage with you and to have a good time.
See, and as an extrovert, I'm the exact opposite. I will happily talk to anyone about nothing. But if if it is supposed to be a purposeful conversation and I'm going in knowing it's supposed to be purposeful, now I'm just going to overthink the shit out of it. Because now I'm really focused on like how is this going to come out? Am I presenting it correctly? What is like my main idea? Am I backing that up? Am I, like, coming at this person the correct way?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that
my
is
brain does that too, but it's
woof.
like 1,000 miles a minute, and so I also am one of those lucky ones where my nervousness looks like confident energy sometimes. It's not. Like, I'm just like, "Oh," on the inside, I look like that, like, anxiety monster from Inside Out, like, just, you know? And also with, like with how intense my anxiety is, especially in social situations, I can go from, like, 0 to 1,000 really quickly, but I can watch body language really well, and I can pick up on cues, and I can tell if I'm, like, landing and delivering. I can also tell if I'm not, which is really helpful, and it's probably why, like, job interviews the only time I ever wasn't hired for a job, I had, like, 102 fever and didn't wanna reschedule, and it was virtual, so I did it, and then I didn't get the job, but that was okay. Every other job I've interviewed for, I've gotten it, or I decided that it probably wasn't the job for me.
Damn,
Like, talk
that's a
them out of it.
superpower right there.
Mhm. Yeah, it is, except for the fact that I'm really good at masking for those things, but then on the first day of work, I have to remember who I was in that interview because I chameleoned to what I needed to do in that moment.
Got you.
So then on the next, like, the actual day when this is, like, real life and it's continuous, I have to remember, like, what mask I wore and how I placed it, and that's really difficult.
So, let's just assume that we are not the only people that have these super fun idiosyncrasies, okay?
No, yeah, I'm not interesting enough to be alone in this.
Like, let's assume that there are people who are constantly needing to be prepared for all things and feeling anxiety about that. People who feel like if they're not busy enough, then they're not doing anything. And why are they here? Let's just assume that we're not the only
Yeah,
ones feeling that.
yeah.
So, what kind of self care can we offer up?
I think a lot, but I almost feel like so the one common thread that you and I both have, right, is that we want to take care of others. And it's easier usually for us to do something for someone else than it is to do it for ourselves. Like
Sure.
you are driven by ambition, I am driven by like sheer anxiety. But I think it could be interesting and we could like in a couple of episodes meet, like catch up on each other and see this. I think we should give each other homework
Ooh,
because you can clearly see what I need to do and I can clearly see what you need to do. But like both of us are like, what do I do? And if we're doing it for ourselves, we're never gonna like fucking do it, right? Because
okay.
like
I like this.
if we feel like we're doing it for the other person, I feel like we're gonna be more inclined.
All right. Well, I have a homework assignment for you.
I'm ready.
Okay, you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. So, you're gonna have to do a little bit of planning. You're gonna
I
have to figure out, like, the time on this.
can do that.
Okay. You need to find, a half day. You don't even have to do a whole day, but you
Half
do a
day.
half day, okay, where you are removed from your regular environment.
Ugh.
So, I would say find a place that is low stress, low people. I happen to love, like, the Barnes& and Noble. There's still one over by you, I think.
You're gonna make me talk to people, aren't you?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
No.
okay. Okay,
No
great.
way.
Yeah, I'm ready then.
Gross. No, absolutely not. No, I would say go in there with the only expectation being that you will be spending this amount of time
Great.
away from your environment. So maybe you end up going somewhere else, who knows? But you're not allowed to set up a plan.
Oh. Oh.
You
Oh.
have to the only plan you're allowed to have is, "I am taking this time for myself from this time to this time," and you may have a starting point, and that is literally it.
Jesus, I need you to know when you were like, "You can't have a plan." I already was building my plan. I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I can get there. I'll go to Starbucks. I can go to, like, this section." And it literally was like a Roger Rabbit car crash that, like, hit a wall when you said, "Okay, fine. I won't I won't plan."
And it doesn't even need to be that as your starting point. You can pick a different starting point. I was
Right.
just looking at something that was, like, low stress, like,
Yeah.
literally walk around. You could sit if you wanted, like, who knows?
Right. Well,
But
and doing that alone too is, like, that's huge because, like, I
so
don't go
that's your
places by
homework,
myself.
and
Yeah.
it must be a minimum of 3 hours.
Good lord, a
Right.
Massey.
And that the reason for that is because 2 hours with drive time is extremely easy to fill if you are just trying to
Yeah,
sidestep the assignment.
right. Fine. And pictures for proof, I'm guessing.
Well, you're trying to plan right now. If you feel like you need to.
Well, I mean, because like, I'm telling you right now, everything in my body is like, "Yeah, Holly, wink, wink, I'll do that for sure." But I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be honest, so I'm gonna hold myself accountable, and I will do it.
I'm not gonna ask for proof because I trust you, because you are a trustworthy, honest, and good person.
Ooh, that is a mean thing that you just did, and I hope everyone else caught on to it as well.
Well, I was trying to be super subtle.
That was really good.
So,
That was really, really good.
uh,
So, I hope you're ready for yours because 'cause
woof.
you're gonna
Okay.
love it.
Am I though? Am
Yep,
I?
you're gonna love it.
Is this
So,
helpful or retaliatory? I
it
want you
is
to
super
think about it.
helpful. I already had this plan when I came up with this. Remember
All
my brain
right.
goes 1,000 miles a minute. I didn't bring up a homework assignment because I had nothing. Like, that's
Okay, that's fair.
ridiculous.
That's fair.
Okay, so what you are going to do, Holly, is you are going to, by yourself, on a work day, you are going to drive to Palmer Park or somewhere very secluded and quiet, Garden of the Gods, and with no technology, no audiobook, no nothing, you are going to find a beautiful part of nature, but it's somewhere where you're not going to see people. You can take a journal and your favorite pretty pen, but you're going to sit in nature on a work day when other people are being productive. And I want you
God.
to sit and I want you to enjoy nature and I want you to hear all of the sounds and feel all of the breezes and do all of the things and sit there until you are comfortable.
Yeah, but I have to pick up the kids at some point. Like,
You are going to do, I think you'll be surprised.
you think
I
I'm gonna
think you'll
find
be
comfort
surprised.
within 7 hours of a school day? Because
Yeah,
that is
I think you will because here's the thing you are used to noise, right? Like being
yeah.
busy and doing all of the things. So you will still hear noise, but it's going to be slower.
Oof, I can feel the anxiety rising in my
Yeah,
chest
yeah.
just thinking about silence.
At least you get to plan. At least you get to plan snacks. No,
Touche,
it's fine.
I do get to plan snacks, you do not.
Yeah, no, I don't. If I get
Nope, you
hungry, I
literally
guess I have to
can't
like,
even.
I can't even plan about what I would do if I get hungry. This is torture. I really think you will be surprised because you being forced to just slow 100% down, I think, is going to knock your socks off.
I
I
do sense
also,
that you are correct.
yeah, I also want you to do it barefoot.
What? Ew.
Grounding is super important. Just take off your
What?
shoes and put your feet on the ground for a minute.
There's like what's this like weird animal pee everywhere and rocks and bugs and things.
Have you ever like stepped on the floor of a club? Promise it's grosser.
Touche. All right. You know, during that time you speak of where it was tragedy after tragedy after tragedy, I actually did the telehealth stuff where I was texting a psychologist because I couldn't even look at someone face to face because I was at a point where I could not stomach silence of any kind. My car was always on, the TV was on in the background at all things. Sometimes I would be listening to the radio, the TV at the exact same time, going to sleep with noise. Like, there was just I could not allow silence in any way
Right.
because it was just so overwhelming. And I've gotten to a point where I'm much better with that. There's actually I can drive in my car sometimes and have nothing on.
That's incredible. That's
That's a
actually a
big deal.
huge oh, that's a huge because I've struggled with that as well.
But, for an extended period of time being in nature, I know that it will be rejuvenating, but it is definitely a challenge, especially on a work day.
It will be. It will be. But your mantra while you're there can be I am my worth, not what I do.
Is this where I put in like cricket sound effects?
I mean, I can feel your hesitation. Like I feel like I was just like, "Okay, Holly, so your homework assignment is you're going to pull out your teeth one by one and then eat them." Which is fair.
I
I get
feel
it. I fucking
I
get
mean,
it.
honestly, I think it might have felt the same way. So, like,
Yeah, you know,
six of one, half dozen of another.
I guess if you feel like that will help you grow. No, I'm just kidding. Keep your teeth in your mouth. But no, I think it'll be like really helpful for you. Like I think it'll be really helpful for you. And I think mine will be really helpful for me too because I'm sitting here. I've got a brave face on. But the fact that I've thought about this half day that I have to just willy-nilly it, like
Well,
every, every
the
2 seconds I'm like, "Oh, but I could. Oh, no, you can't do that."
the goal of your willy-nilly day is also to show you that the world will continue to spin even if you are not fully prepared, and that the best preparation that you can do is just living, like, with your life experience and knowing that, like, the only thing that is consistent is change. So, it's like
Right.
learning to improv, which I know so many people, like, that sounds like a horrible nightmare.
Yeah, it is a horrible nightmare,
But
especially when your high school theater teacher decides you need to be a part of an improv team when you have no skill or ability.
okay, well, it's unfortunate that you were just talented. So, your theater teacher was clearly picking up on some amazing
I didn't do
comedy
well.
skill.
I don't feel like I did well, but it's okay.
Okay,
It doesn't
well,
matter.
that was then. Why are
Why are
we,
we there? I need
dwelling?
you to know when you were talking about like all of the things just now of like the world and it's gonna be okay. Every part of my body was screaming like, "You liar!" as loud as it could. So I think these are gonna be, like, really good for us. I think this is
It's
gonna be
just 3
really good for
hours.
us.
It's
Yeah,
just 3 hours.
yeah, and yours can be 3 hours.
Whoa!
I'm just saying.
Just sitting for 3 hours?
Until you're comfortable, yes.
Even if
You
I have
have
my
a
teeth
journal.
drilled.
You
Even if
have
I
your
have my
journal.
teeth drilled, it's less than 3 hours.
Mm. Nobody said you had to do it professional. You're either ripping out your own teeth or you're sitting on a rock. You choose.
Alright, and then we will come back and talk
Yeah,
about how it went.
yeah. I think
Alright.
that's really important. I think that'll be good. I think that's really good. We're growing. Growing doesn't happen in moments of comfort.
Alright. Okay, well, listeners, since you're on this journey with us, why don't you pick one of these homework assignments for you too? Tell us how it goes. Decide where your biggest block is. Is it the block of I feel like I have to plan for everything every moment of the day? Or is it I feel like I have to be busy and doing things well every moment of the day? Pick one of those and then try this homework assignment. We'd love to hear how it worked out for you.
Yeah, yeah. If you take a video, we will showcase it on our Instagram and Facebook profile.
Oh my God, I would love that. Please take a little video of your nature walk or your book walk. Any of those. I would love that. And it would also make me feel better and not not so alone. Because you know what? Alone is hard, but together we're all fine. I want to do like a drum, like a little drum set every single
Yeah.
time. I do that like
I love
so
it.
solid.
You kill it every time. Like, you're so good at it.
Well, guys, email us, text us, not text us. Get onto our social medias and leave us some messages. Hey guys, we would really, really love it. Super duper. If you could just take a second, leave us some stars on Spotify or Apple. That would be like delightful. And if you want to leave a little comment, even if it's like, I kind of hate you right now. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd prefer that not be the comment, but if you want to drop it, you want to drop it.
You can
always
leave
appreciate
that.
honesty.
Yeah, leave that comment if you leave 5 stars. That's fair.
That's totally fair. All right, guys. Well, hope you have a great week. We love you.
Bye.